All right, good evening, old school Texas Tech. I come to you from Colombia, South America. My new hotel room, new to me hotel room. Anyway, we're continuing with our predictions for as many teams as we can get to before football starts. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself, but also trying to get as many done as possible. Jordan and I did a prediction and follow-up video for Texas Tech and UT in their final season playing. We, of course, won the last home game in Lubbock. It was a close game, a very competitive game, and controversial. And then we both picked Texas to beat Tech in pretty dominating fashion down in Austin. Of course, it ended up being even a worse spread than I think either one of us predicted, and we got all sorts of backlash. So it was kind of fun. So decided to bring Jordan back for this prediction. I haven't talked to him about how he thinks UT is going to do in their first season in the SEC, but we're going to go ahead and get to it. So, Jordan, do you have anything you want to say before we get started?
No, I'm just kind of digging the backdrop there in your hotel, man. Looks nice.
Yeah, it's kind of old school South America, right?
Yeah, sure
Yeah,
is.
yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so August 31st, in Austin, the Longhorns play Colorado State. What do you think is going to happen?
I think they'll run Colorado State right out of the stadium. I think
Okay.
that's a done deal.
All right, September 7th gets a little bit more interesting. They go to Michigan and play at Michigan in Ann Arbor. What do you think?
Yeah, I didn't even realize that game was on the schedule until about 2 weeks ago. If Jim Harbaugh was there, I would chalk that up as a loss, but he's not. They got some new guy that's never been a coach before. He's in his late 30s. Good luck. I think Texas is going to win that one, probably by double digits, because Michigan lost a lot of people from a year ago. I think Texas
Okay.
is going to roll in that one.
All right. This is kind of an interesting game. Maybe, maybe not. September 14th in Austin against UT San Antonio with the other high school coach that they always mention with Joey McGuire. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
It's like
Uh,
Trailer, I think, right?
what is it?
Trailer, I think is his last name.
Yeah, yeah, Jeff Traylor.
That's it. Yeah.
So, yeah, what do you think? Do you think they got enough juice to play with Texas and Austin?
For maybe one half. And then
Okay.
I think Texas just has way too much talent.
Okay.
Texas will be
September,
3 to start.
okay. September 21st, they play in Austin against Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, I mean, here it's like I'm sounding like a broken record. 4-0. They
Oh,
don't
they're
have
going to
what?
be a good team.
Yeah, they'll be, and they're gonna roll in that one too.
All right. September 28th, first year coach, last name Levy. I think he's like the son in law of Art Briles or something like that. Or is it, he's related to Art Briles,
He's
the new
married to
coach.
Art Briles' daughter, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, there you
That's what
Yeah.
the connection is. Yeah.
Mississippi State, it's again in Austin.
So does UT play any games not in Austin? I mean,
Yeah, we'll get to those.
I think against Mississippi State, I think they've been down for a couple years since the Pirate unfortunately passed away. So I think Texas will win that one comfortably.
Okay. Then October, they get a bye. Then October 12th, they go down to Dallas to play against Oklahoma at the Cotton Bowl. What do you think?
Oh yeah, the game that is in my backyard. I can literally stand on my balcony and see the Cotton Bowl from where I am. It's not. It's a little out. It's a couple miles away. It's not like it's right there, but
If I actually cared about the game, then I would take you up on sitting out on the balcony and cracking a few maybe adult beverages, maybe not adult beverages. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think this year, I'm going to say Oklahoma finds a way to win this one.
Okay. All right. So then they doesn't get any easier at all. Then they come home October 19th. They do get them at home, another home game. They get Georgia, what the Georgia Bulldogs. I hear they're pretty good.
Good luck, Texas. You're going to need it in that one. I think Georgia rolls.
Okay. Okay, so October 26th, they go and play an away SEC game, like in a true away SEC game, not a neutral site. They go to the powerhouse of Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee.
I think Vanderbilt wins that game. Just kidding. Texas is going to Vanderbilt.
All right. I was gonna tell you this is we like to be sober when we do these predictions, ideally. All right. November 9th, I guess there's a buy in there? Yeah, there's a buy in there. November 9th at 11 a.m. they play Florida at in Austin.
I think they'll beat Florida, and I think that could be the final nail in the coffin of that Florida coach because he hasn't been getting. I remember he came in with a bunch of hype. He's not getting it done out there. Florida is not the juggernaut it's been in previous years. I think Texas will win that one in Austin.
Okay. This is kind of an interesting one, just because of they got their old Bobby Petrino's back as offensive coordinator. November 16th, 11 a.m. In Fayetteville, Arkansas, they play the Arkansas Razorbacks.
No, that's an interesting matchup, and I forgot old Bobby Petrino's going back there. That's interesting. I mean, he's one of the best offensive minds I think in all of football and has been for a while. But I think Texas has got the much better team. I think Texas. I mean, some of those games I saw with Arkansas last year. I mean, they were getting pummeled by pretty much everybody. Surprised that head coach survived. I think Texas will win that one.
Yeah, I think the only way he did survive is by bringing Bobby Petrino in. At least that's the best I could tell as an outsider.
Sure seems that way. Old Petrino, that's a funny story with him too. You know, he likes motorcycles and co-eds.
I'm not touching that one. All right. November 23rd. It seems like maybe the SEC gave Texas a little bit of a friendly schedule.
I would
November,
agree with that.
I'm so shocked. I'm so surprised by that. November 23rd, they play Kentucky. Guess what? In Austin.
Wow, shocker. Is this the eighth home game or ninth already that we
We'll count at the end.
they're gonna beat Kentucky. I can't name a single player on Kentucky's team. I just know Mark Stoops is the coach. He's been there for like 15 years now. And they seem to fade down the stretch. They seem to start out pretty hot and do
Yeah.
okay, and then they fade. So Texas is gonna, of course, get them at the right time in Austin.
All right. So then November 30th, a rivalry is reborn. They go to College Station and play Texas A&M.
Ooh, now that's gonna be an interesting matchup. That's what's that is that the first matchup in 20 years, 15 years?
Uh,
Maybe. And we
I
talked
think
about
A&M,
this.
A&M left. It's been about 15 years.
Yeah, I say like 2009, 2010, maybe. I'm going to this is a tough one. I think this is a toss up right now, but I think I'm going to go ahead and give I think the Longhorns will probably nudge them out. I have a feeling A&M's going to get better as the season progresses, but I think the Longhorns are actually going to nip them and win a very close game in College Station.
All right. So you have, if my math is right, you have Texas 10-2, losing two games in a row at the Cotton Bowl against Oklahoma and at home against Georgia.
Yep,
All right.
that's how I see it.
Okay, let me go through mine real quick, and then we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we'll count how many. They have a lot of home games. Of course, we have a lot of we have quite a few home games this year too at Tech. All right, at home against Colorado State, August 31st. I've been doing a lot of the Mountain West predictions. I actually think Colorado State's a pretty decent team, and I like that coach. I forget his last name, but I like Coach Sanders, and I like the coach for Colorado State. I wish they could get along better. But anyway, I thought that was kind of an interesting banter last year or whatever. But I think Texas is just too talented. So I think Texas gets the win against Colorado State. I agree with you. I think Michigan, there's just too much changeover. Texas has more continuity. I think even though it will be a tough road environment, I think Texas will go to Ann Arbor and beat Michigan on September 7th. UTSA is a total trap game, but I just think Texas is too talented. I think they will win that game on September 14th. They're going to completely destroy Louisiana Monroe. That's, we all do it, but that's just kind of a joke of a game on September 21st. No offense to Louisiana Monroe. I actually liked them. No, I like the Raging Cajuns and I like Louisiana Monroe. I forget what Monroe's mascot is, but anyway, Mississippi State, September 28th. If it were in Starkville, it might be a little bit interesting, but with a new coach at home, I think Texas will win that game pretty easily. The other thing about Texas is they've got some pretty good continuity on their coaching staff. Both coordinators have been there the whole time with Sarkisian, with Sark, and then also they've got one new co-defensive coordinator that they elevated or something like that, or they brought him. No, they didn't elevate him; they brought him in. But they've got some pretty good continuity on their coaching staff. I believe Texas will actually beat Oklahoma and Dallas. I do think it'll be a really good game. And I wouldn't be stunned if it went the other way, but I got Texas winning on October 12th. On October 19th, I have Georgia coming into Austin and beating Texas at home. And that's going to be kind of like, welcome to the SEC day for Texas, in my opinion. October 26th, of course, at Vanderbilt. That should be a blowout. November 9th, I actually am a little bit more optimistic about Florida, but again, no match for Texas at home. I think Texas will easily not. I mean, they'll comfortably. I won't say easily. They'll comfortably win that game against Florida. November 16th at Arkansas. Petrino makes it a little bit interesting, but Texas will have too much talent. They'll win that game. So I only have one loss so far. November 23rd, they play Kentucky again at home. So let's go ahead and count the home games. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only 7. I actually thought it looked like more than that. That's same
Felt
as
like it
Tech.
was felt like it was 12.
Yeah, I know. But then yeah, then the game in Dallas. But yeah, it's only 7. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just like Tech, they have 7. All right. Um, so they'll beat Kentucky at home. And then November 30th at College Station, I'm actually picking the Aggies in this game. Um, I'm not a huge fan of either program, being a Texas Tech fanatic. I've got more family that I have family that went to both schools. I have more family that went to Texas. And I actually in a rare moment, I would be rooting for the Longhorns, but I just think this game is going to be really important to Texas A&M. They're going to be really up for it, and they would love to play the spoiler because I don't know how this playoff stuff's going to shake out, but that being a late season loss, that might keep them out of the playoffs if A&M were to beat them.
You think so? Even with there being what 12 teams this year, I think if they get through with 2 losses, they'll probably still squeak their way in.
They might. They might. I'm not an expert on it yet. We haven't even been through one of these yet. So yeah, you
Yeah.
might be right. You might be right. And I know some people who think Texas is going to beat Georgia. I don't. I don't. Not this time. But anything else you want to add to
No, I
Texas?
mean, I do think that's a pretty friendly inaugural SEC schedule. I mean, it really is. I mean,
Yeah.
Georgia
Yeah.
one major landmine,
Yeah, I
but
mean, they don't get Ole Miss. Ole Miss is going to be really good. They don't get LSU.
I
LSU is
was
going to
I
be
was
good.
expecting LSU to be on the schedule as
No
well. Yeah,
Bama either. No Bama
yeah,
either. Yeah.
Bama, LSU. I mean, it's and no Auburn, and Auburn I think is on the rise too, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. They are. They are. All right. So we both had them 10-2.
We did.
Just different losses. All right. Um, pretty good first season for Texas if they're able to go 10-2, I think, in the SEC.
Well, and like you
Anything
said,
else you want to add?
they have coaching continuity and a quarterback that's pretty good. That's going to enter his final season where he's trying to jockey for a high NFL draft position. So I think they'll be pretty good this year.
I agree. I agree. let's see what our Texas friends say. If we get any backlash on this one, like the last one, we might do a few more videos on UT throughout the season, just for fun.
Sounds with
All
me.
right, all right. Well, that is our prediction for 2024 Texas Longhorns. Thanks for joining us.
Good seeing